here with Ellen Kim. She came in here from an ad, right, on Alta training, and it was an MMA training program. You trained for how many weeks? 12 weeks?
20 weeks.
20 weeks. 20 weeks. Wow, that's some time. 20 weeks. And at the end of it, you fight an MMA fight, an amateur MMA fight.
Well, they give you a choice.
They give you a choice.
Yeah.
And since then, you've continued on and kept training jiu-jitsu. And now you even coach, compete, win. And you just went to Brazil too as well this last month. And it's been great to just to get to know you and have you be part of the officially real, like, full on into the Legacy, family. It's been great to see you grow and really improve in every aspect.
Yeah, I have a bit of Stockholm syndrome. I mean, who would have thought one ad on Instagram would have kept me in this building for almost 3 years now. Can you believe it? Almost 3 years.
3 years of doing things that are good for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to... You answered an MMA ad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch UFCs or anything?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So growing up, I would always watch UFC with my brothers.
With your brothers?
Yeah, and I would watch them wrestle. They would always grapple each other.
Okay.
But nothing with technique.
Uh-huh.
they would just
beat each other up, fight with each other?
Nothing. And when I would see the girls, it would be more painful to me to see the girls fight because I could empathize more with them. So when the guys would fight, I'd be like, just take the punch and let's keep going, But when I saw the girls fight, I was like, oh, maybe I could do that. So when I moved out to California, I was looking at gyms, but it was during COVID, so everything was closed.
Mm.
And then, so that was 2020. And then in 2022 is when I saw the ad. And I really wanted a dog. I had 2 cats at the time, so I really wanted a dog. And I thought to myself, I want to do this. I want to do MMA. I want to get a dog. Let me test myself. Because it's 20 weeks, right? 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. It's just 1 hour for 20 weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
So I wanted to test myself. Can I wake up and go to a gym every day for 20 weeks? And if I can, then after 20 weeks, then I've proved to myself I can wake up for myself. Now I could wake up for a dog. So if I can't do it for 20 weeks, then I can't do it for 15 years. That's how long a dog lives. So I did it. I did the program, and it really tested me. It really, it was a really amazing experience. I think everyone who completed the program could say it changed their lives. I could say that confidently because not everyone completed the program.
Right.
It's kind of crazy because, Professor Edson, on the very first day, we were bowing out of class, and he goes, today, 30 people. Next week, 10 people. Following week, 5 people. That's what he said. Do you remember that? That's what he said. And sure enough, it really happened. It really, it was, I think, 25 students.
Yeah.
And, there were a lot of coaches.
Packed. Yeah, it was packed. It was full.
The first week, every day.
The first weeks, yeah.
And then the next week, it was 10, 15 people. People would dropping like flies. I was like, oh, weren't there bigger guys in here at one point? And then I look around and I'm like, oh, there's only 8 solid people that was showing up for the first 2 months.
Yeah.
Which is only 8 weeks.
And how many people ended up fighting on that card?
5.
5, yeah.
5.
You being one of them.
Yeah. Just like Edson said. And I have a funny story. The very first day, I showed up late and very hungover because when I signed up for this program, I was not mentally well. I was partying too much. My life was chaotic, So I thought, all right, the program starts on a Monday. I'm going to treat this Sunday like it's my bachelorette party. Like my life's going to change after this. I really treated it that way. So I, stayed up, drinking, partying, whatever. And on Monday, I showed up at like 7:15, 7:20, so hungover, like lost, confused, like no life in my eyes, like what, And then Edson, after class, after he bowed out, gave his speech and bowed us out, I was sitting there like, oh, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
And Edson came up to me like, you want to fight? Why you want to learn MMA? And I'm just like, bro, I don't know you. Just leave me alone. But sure enough, I just kept showing up. And
his intuition, huh? Was like he was calling you on it.
Yeah, he was
He
like,
felt it, and like, yeah, you don't want it. Yeah,
because like everyone's still in class, but
you
he came over to me.
You don't really want it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking the way you were acting, right?
I was like dying because I was hungover, and he was like, "You want to fight? Why you want to fight? You don't really want to fight." I was like, "Bro." Yeah, and
you're the only girl that fought, right?
I was the only girl that fought. And the first, I would say, 3 weeks of Alta program, I would drive home. I was living in Koreatown at the time. So I would drive home and I would just be in the car like every day. It was like this. What am I doing? What am I doing? And then I would just start crying. Oh, sorry. It's okay. I would just cry on my way home.
After practice?
Yeah, because I didn't, I was just questioning.
Why are you doing it?
Or I was just questioning everything. Like, who am I? What am I made for? Why am I here? It's so dramatic. But I think it's a real testament of what martial arts does to a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know what mount was, I didn't know what side control.
You're like straight up off the couch.
I didn't even hug a person hard in my life, I've never put on a glove before. So this was all so new to me. I've always been athletic, but I've never done anything combative or anything like
physically like that.
Yeah,
physical
exactly.
like that. Besides your dog, what made you keep showing up? Because it's 20 weeks, right? 20 weeks, 7 a.m.
Yeah.
20 weeks of 7 a.m.
Sometimes I wouldn't show up. Maybe once every 2 weeks or like once a week. I would just be like, they don't need me there today. But I think it was really the mental part of it. I wanted to test my mental toughness.
Mental toughness, like in the training itself, or just showing up?
Everything. Because you have to, first of all, like I was waking up at noon at the time.
Before that?
Yeah, so it was like changing my lifestyle, right? And then learning something new, throwing punches, kicks, a knee. What's a knee, or getting in these positions that I have no idea. So it was more like learning a new game. And I'm really about that. Like, I've always been athletic, but you'll never find me in the gym, like, doing curls or something.
What kind of sports did you play?
I played a lot of volleyball.
Okay, yeah.
I was on my high school bowling team.
Bowling team.
Yeah. But really anything athletic I could pretty much pick up, and I'd be, like, decent. So when I moved to California, I did a lot of hiking because I wouldn't want to be in the gym. I'd rather just, like, keep busy,
do stuff.
Move.
Not just be in nature, but do stuff that's
not
active.
In 4 walls. I did rock climbing for a whole year before I moved out to LA. my ex at the time, he watched a movie called Free Solo. It's about this rock climber named
Oh yeah,
Alex
I've seen
Honnold.
it. I've seen it. Yeah,
And
I've
he
seen it.
so, like free climbs.
What's that? What's the name of that rock? The mountain? Look it up.
It's in Yosemite. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was inspired, like, oh, I want to go rock climbing. I was like, all right, let's go. And so we showed up to the rock climbing gym, and we are getting a tour, right? And I just looked at him. I said, if we don't sign up today, don't bring me back here. And that's kind of the person I am. I'm just like, it's all or nothing. Let's go, you know? And so it's funny, like, we signed up, and we signed up in April.
Mm-hmm.
We never missed. Like, we would go to the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week. We never missed. And I think that just kind of shows, like, my personality of, like, that's how I was with MMA and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it's really remarkable, right? 20 weeks of 7 a.m. MMA training, some hard days, right, of training.
Edson made it very, like, fun.
Fun, yeah.
Very fun. Like, I remember our warm-ups.
What's that?
El Capitan, yeah.
El Capitan, yeah. That's it.
Free solo. But Edson made it very fun. Like, some of our warm-ups were kind of sketchy.
Some of your
warm-ups. Like, we would play soccer with a medicine ball. And I remember Khalil being like, yo, I'm going to break my knee doing this. And then, like, some days we would do capoeira. We would all sing and dance.
But he'd have a big smile on his face and get your energy up.
He would take out his, like...
Bimbo.
Yeah. What'd she say? What'd you call me?
his capoeira instrument.
Yeah. And
Bimbo.
And so, like, it was fun. Like, if someone missed that capoeira day, we'd be like, you missed capoeira. And then, like, you know, the camaraderie was keeping us, like, there. There was a really good, I want to say brotherhood, but I'm a girl, so... it's... Well, I always grew up with boys because I have 2 older brothers, and so it was kind of, like, natural for me to just be surrounded by guys like that. And there were 2 other girls, but they didn't end up completing the program. Yeah.
So what made you you finished 20 weeks? What made you want to choose to fight?
I didn't feel like I had a choice because you put in all that work. You learn all these things. You get punched in the face so many times during practice. It's like, why not? Like, why wouldn't you see?
You've put the work in already.
Yeah, why wouldn't you take that opportunity?
You weren't scared?
Yeah, I don't think I was. I think I was nervous, but it's hard for me to be scared of something I'm not.
Because you didn't learn how to throw a punch. You learned what a knee was. You didn't know anything, and
but
now you're fighting in the cage.
I didn't know what it was to be in the cage yet, so I didn't know what to be afraid of.
But you've watched UFCs, right, before?
Yeah.
So you saw some blood.
Yeah.
You saw probably some crazy knockouts as well, right?
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think I've ever sparred with a girl hard before I entered that cage. So I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to... So I was just like, all right, it's just going to be another day of practice, and that's how we treated it.
And then who was your opponent? She was like an Olympian, right? She was a soccer player?
She's a 4-time gold medalist. Yeah, for soccer. She was 39 at the time.
Uh-huh.
And so when I heard 39, I got scared. That's the moment I got scared because the more you live in your body, the more you know your body. The mind body connection keeps growing and growing. you know?
Her strength is going to be on point too, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, she's an Olympian. So she's been 4 times.
Her mind is strong.
That means at least for 16 years of her life, she's been training like an Olympian. I've been training like a
20 weeks.
Yeah, for 20 weeks. With a bunch of bozos, right? No offense. We're all good friends. But we're all like young and dumb, and like I don't think any of us had like real actual careers outside of anything. You know, we were all just in our 20s doing nothing.
Yeah.
Showing up to the gym.
Yeah, it was really special, unique. You know, you out of everybody was really unique and great, but just you have you're so far kind of from doing something like that, right? From coming in off the street, pretty much, you know.
Yeah.
No background, and then, having that fight too with the athletic. What was her name?
Her name, it was something Hawaiian.
Anyway, with the Olympian girl, right?
Yeah.
And then you're doing well, going the distance, and yeah, it was three rounds, yeah. And I remember you going out and doing like a little dance, walking to the cage, and I was like, man, you're really doing it, you know, doing the whole experience.
It still feels out of body for me, because I'm like, I can't believe I did that.
Natasha Kai.
Thanks, Jamie. It still feels surreal. It doesn't. People always ask me like, "Will I do it again?" I don't think so. I like jiu-jitsu a lot.
I remember you came and did a jiu-jitsu class right during the training camps, during that training camp, and then I'm glad you came back after the fight, you know, and did jiu-jitsu. It was nice.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is why you did it, right? To continue
the martial arts journey. But I feel really favored because when we were doing the training camp, Edson really took me under his wing because I was very close to Vivi. So we would go on trips, and I saw you at ADCC.
Yeah, we went to the ADCC.
And, it's funny, like, I never taken a jiu-jitsu class before I went to ADCC. I was just doing the MMA stuff, and then I saw jiu-jitsu at the highest level, at the most, like, best.
Biggest show, yeah.
Yeah. And that was my first experience.
Oh, wow.
Of watching what jiu-jitsu is. So it was pretty cool. And it's a remarkable, like, for me, it's really like such a cool story. What a special story for me too.
Yeah, really. It's funny because people they watch UFC and they think they want to do UFC, but they actually want to do jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
And so they come and they do jiu-jitsu, right? And
or just the Muay Thai.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But they never end up kind of fighting or doing that, right? Whereas you come in to do MMA and then you find jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing, right? But it's like you come in, like you end up actually fighting, and then you find jiu-jitsu on the path, right?
Yeah. It's been pretty insane because who would have thunk, like,
you started competing in jiu-jitsu and
oh yeah, it was really
coaching.
nice to because even when we were doing the selling tickets for
the fight,
for the smoke show, I've been at the gym for already 4 months, right? But I don't know anybody because I was only there at 7 a.m. Most people come to noon class or night classes, whatever. So I didn't even know these people. Like I never met these people, but everyone was like, yeah, let's go to the show. And like really hyped and excited to see me fight. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I started getting nervous because I'm like, all these people are supporting me, but they've never seen me even train because we would train in the morning. So that was a cool experience to have a whole gym like support you, like people I didn't know at the time. And then sure enough,
Was that motivating, or do you think it? How was it?
Yeah, I thought I better perform well. I
Represent.
Better, yeah, I hope I make Edson proud. I hope I hope I make you proud. Uh, it was okay. Anthony makes a joke like, you really defended those punches well with your face.
You step in there.
Yeah, but he also like says like that's where he gained my respect, that I kept going even though I was obviously getting badly beaten.
Yeah, you could have quit, right?
Yeah.
You could have quit at any time, but you didn't.
Yeah.
You found a way to keep going.
And it's kind of crazy, when people go, "Oh, competition is the best way to like progress."
Mm-hmm.
It's very true, because I almost had a triangle in the cage, but I was being blocked off, and I didn't even know what I was doing. I just like knew the positions. From then on, I was like, I'll never miss a triangle. So yeah, that's been my experience.
Yeah. It's have you followed at all Alta events or anything on social media?
I see their social media. I see like them doing camps and stuff. I see other people having the very same experience that I had of like, this is life changing. Like people who don't know, never thrown a punch before, like putting on the gear, like doing the movements, learning their bodies, learning their minds, learning who they are. It's a very like spiritual journey of solitude, martial arts is. So it's really cool to
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. The whole thing from you following through, right? Showing up with no 7 a.m.s. I would come in here and there, right? And then yeah, sure enough, the beginning was packed, right? All these people packed, full room, right? Big guys, like all kinds of people. And then thinning out week by week, right? And then towards the end, right, it was like a tight crew, like everybody
Very
that was
tight.
left.
Yeah.
And then the final show, right? The event, and then how many guys out of not everybody got fights, right? But pretty much most of the guys got fights, right?
Khalil is still doing MMA, but I'm the only one who like stuck with jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
Why did you stick with jiu-jitsu?
Well,
I could tell when you came into jiu-jitsu, like, this is what you should do. You should do this.
And honestly,
And I knew I had that feeling like,
yeah,
this is for you. This is something you can be good at.
It's kind of crazy how things just like string along in your life. Because remember I was telling you about the rock climbing gym? When I was learning jiu-jitsu, I was like, oh, jiu-jitsu is just rock climbing, just with people instead of rocks, So it's very natural for my body because I was doing it for a year before. And I liked it. I really like the mental part of it. Like, can you catch that? Are you just feeling so stuck all the time as a white belt. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. But people encouraging you and like, Monica, I remember Professor Monica really took me under her wing at some point. She would like catch and release me in submissions. And then sometimes like 10 times.
Catch and release.
And then by the 11th one, I just tap. And she's like, why'd you tap? And I'm like, I got scared. And she's like, but you were still breathing. And I was like, oh, okay. No, I never tap until like really it's cut off, So it was nice. Jiu-jitsu, I love the it's systems. It's systematic. There's ranks. And I love
processes.
I love how organized it is. It's not, like the opposite. I recently learned like the opposite of peace is chaos, but in order to get peace is just organization. And jiu-jitsu is very organized. there's no like
there is chaos,
is
right?
chaos.
But it's organized chaos.
Exactly.
Which makes it like Zen.
Art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good. Say that line again.
I don't.
The one you said just now about the opposite of peace is chaos.
But in order to get peace, is just organization, just system. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Jumbled.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But if you lay everything out and organize, then there's peace.
There's structure there, right?
Yeah,
the structure there.
Exactly.
In the match and the fights, like anything can happen, right? It's chaos, but there's a lot of structure and there's processes, right? It's a simple thing like bowing on the mat, bowing off the mat, and us shaking hands after class, right?
And I think that's why jiu-jitsu is such a good, like, it draws in people who may not have structure in their life. Jiu-jitsu brings like a little bit of structure in your life. So I think it's a beautiful thing. And when we interviewed Andre Goval, he was like, I think everyone should do it, even these workers here. And I was like, yeah,
they should.
Like everyone really should do it, because it does like bring a sense of structure to your life.
You mentioning structure. How has jiu-jitsu helped you in your life?
I think it's just taken over my life. Yeah, I've always been like a confident person because I always like knew who I was, in a sense. But now I don't have to question, like, when people would I have always been a bartender my whole adult life, but I used to work at this like kind of sketchy bar or whatever, and people would touch me or like try to hit on me and like get in my personal space. Like that's a percentage of why I even did MMA, is because I'm sick of these people. Like, I need to learn how to defend myself or know what to do situationally. And that's what helped. Like, it's given me confidence that I know I could defend myself. And I know they don't want a piece of me, Yeah. So
yeah,
it's given me more confidence. It's given me structure. It's given me community, because in LA, when I moved out here, I didn't really have like a big group of friends like I do now. My whole life has changed really, because I moved to Burbank because of jiu-jitsu. I got my job in Burbank because I moved to Burbank. I went to Brazil. I feel so connected to this gym that I felt like I had to go to Brazil. Like, it was a pilgrimage of my ancestors. Like,
you did like the interview with Banana. Did you
yeah, I recorded it. Yeah.
random guy in São Paulo who was a training partner and grew up with Alexandre.
And it was pretty cool because I got to see all your comrades that you came up with, and all the stories match up. Everything lines up, which is, pretty cool. I got to experience that myself. And then seeing like people you met 25 years ago, and then you're like, what's his name? Look, and you sent back like a picture. Oh, here's a photo from 20 years ago, and you circled his face. I had no idea what his name was. We just call him Banana. Like, that's
straight
beautiful.
up. Huh? Now he has white hair. He has some white hair on his butt, on his head, and beard.
That's what I love about jiu-jitsu. Like, I've come to, like, I've grown relationships with everyone on the mat at noon, and Tortuga, I don't know his name.
Javier.
Ah. Wow. That's crazy. That was my next point. That was my next point. It's
He's
like,
not a mechanic.
jiu-jitsu, like,
It doesn't matter, right?
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You know his name or not.
I've been training here for
it's
3
a feeling.
years.
Yeah.
We don't know jack crap about each other. Like, I don't know what you do for a living. You don't know what I do. I don't know if you have kids. I don't know anything about you. So, but we look at each other. We see each other every day at noon. We slap hands, and we're ready to go. We're always having a good time. Like, we're just dancing. And it's a beautiful thing to have, like, judgment-free zone.
Yeah.
We encourage each other, like, oh, you feel stronger today. That was a good technique you did. It really says a lot of, I think jiu-jitsu, you can't hide. Like, you can't fake the funk, as you say.
Can't, yeah, you have to. You're yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to be authentic. There's no way you can hide it. You can fake it.
That's why it's an art, because, like, you could always tell, like, oh, like, a strong guy, like, always just using muscle but getting nowhere. You can't really, like, you need to know the technique to finesse.
Yeah. I always mention that book, the Sebastian Junger, the Tribe book. And he's like, we need 3 things to, basically to be content, to be good. It's like, 1, be ourselves, be authentic, because in a tribe you have to be yourself so people know, like, hey, what are you good at, right? Mm-hmm. Be good at something, and then be connected to others.
Yeah.
And the guy who wrote the book, he wrote a lot of books on war, and actually one of his books is called War, and he would study like Green Berets and Vietnam War and stuff. And people would go to war and they would want to come back and go back to war after they would come back from war. Why? Why? And it's because they had these things.
Yeah, to go through the trenches with.
Yeah, you were connected. You were on the bunks next to each other. You're yourself. You can be yourself, right? And you have to do your part, right, as part of the team.
Very fulfilling.
Fulfilling. And that's all we need. That's all we need. Nothing more, nothing less. And it was really nice because my dad was a Green Beret in Vietnam, so it kind of helped me connect, in a way with him, and made me realize what I do every day, here. And I wish he would have had it,
Do you ever stop and think about how many people you impacted? I mean, I'm sure at the gala, like, you could see the sea of people, or like at graduation, you see a sea of people, of like people who come and.
I mean, I don't think about it. I just, I know, like, just even us doing this podcast and you sharing stories, right, of your journey, and then people can it resonates with them. Oh, wow, that's how I got, going, or whatever it is, or maybe it motivates them to come in to train, right? I just want to keep just doing my best, and like, your stories motivate me and really push me to keep going, because I know what it can do for people. I know what it's done for me, and I've seen what it's done for so many. And why would I stop doing that?
Yeah, that's why I love coaching. I love coaching because you could see really, like, a troubled child, maybe not even troubled, but just like a child, just like chaos. But you could see, like, within 5 months of just coming to class, they used to be, like, jumping off the walls. 5 months of consistent jiu-jitsu, they're the best student. Like, so willing to learn, so excited to learn the new technique, and, like, hitting the moves, It just brings that little bit of structure of, like, having no structure, and then bringing that structure really changes lives. It's really so beautiful and very fulfilling for me to coach at Glendale. Yeah.
Yeah. And the power we have, right? Them being little kids at that early age, right? Getting them moving them in the right direction.
Yeah, because it's
just self-defense. It's just like movement. No, that's everything. Learning how to listen.
You could apply, like, the same rules will apply in different situations in life.
Yeah. Would you have liked to have done martial arts growing up? Looking back?
I don't like to think like that. I don't.
Or where would you be now if you had done martial arts? Do you think your life would be different?
You know what I mean? Like,
You don't like to think going back. It's
because
like regrets or whatever.
what if I did BJJ in New York? I don't know if I would ever be in LA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I don't like to think like that, because I'm very happy where I am. So like,
And
if I
you
missed those steps,
yeah. I'm not saying
Legacy.
I'm not saying it's you wish that you wish you would have done that or whatever, but just to kind of but think about it like, oh, what if I would have done martial arts? Where do you think your life would be? Just kind of making up in your head, like what do you think? How things would be different?
Of course, I think it definitely would have given me more perseverance if I did martial arts sooner in my life. Then I think I probably would have finished college, or like I probably would have like gone a different route in my life or something, because it would have, because martial arts really teaches you like what endurance is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think it's good to think about those things,
Yeah.
Not that you're gonna go back in time or whatever, but like just because you're also helping, you're mentoring kids, and you're around it, so like the impact that it can have, right? It can change everything. Yeah. What do you have coming up on the mats in jiu-jitsu?
On the mats in jiu-jitsu, look at my fingers.
She gave me the double fingers this morning. We're getting coffee. She's like, look at my fingers, and show me.
Dude,
one is like swollen, and one middle finger's like double the size of the other one.
Look at my fingers. Well, I'm excited for Edson to finally do his grand opening. He told me this morning.
Yeah, in San Diego.
I'll
Shout
go.
out to Legacy San Diego. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. It's a big deal, man. Really big deal. Yeah, I'm so happy, so proud. It's just, speaking of just things happening organic, and just it's nice. Facebook gives you like these old pictures, right, from 10 years ago and before, and it just it happened so organic. Like I had all my friends visit me in New Mexico when I used to live in New Mexico, but he was like a poor guy, so he was never able to get his like a visa, like his American visa, And then he got married, and Vivi's mom, and eventually they applied for the visa, and they got it. He got it to go to like Disney World or whatever, right? And then it's for 10 years, and so I was like, oh man, I got my visa, and so we started organizing him to come visit us here, and he started competing in all the tournaments, for year after year after year, and whatever, and do some seminars, sell some gear, whatever, and a lot of years went by, and then fast forward, and he ends up kind of coming here, right? Yeah, it's just so cool. It's just kind of crazy, Like I really,
it is, especially after I visited Brazil. I respect Edson so much even more. The fact that he got out.
Where he comes from, it's just like, it's ridiculous, and his charisma and his whatever other things he has in him. The fact that he was able to get out of that situation, and then not just that, but come here to the U.S. Like I even lived with him back in the day in Brazil, and we kind of joked that I mooched off the moocher, I mooched off the moocher, but he's always like a big brother to me, He was a few years older than me. I didn't speak Portuguese, when I was there, and he kind of just took care of me, He always took care of me and watched out for me, even kind of now, like in certain things, So it's just like, I'm really proud of this gym, and it's in a great spot in Point Loma, San Diego, right, top of the hill, and I'm just so excited for him and his daughter and family, right. And she's grown up on the mat too.
And
her jiu-jitsu is so good.
Yeah.
And just really, really happy. He has a lot to give,
Yeah. And his classes were always packed.
Yeah.
You could just sense the passion he has for jiu-jitsu. It's so funny because like at the end of the classes, he'd be like, today, some of you guys no good. And then he'd like point out, Khalil, today, very good. Like, so, he creates like this, like, oh, I want to I want to be the best. I want your favor. Kind of like, it's good camaraderie to have.
Makes you laugh.
Yeah.
You're the best.
Yeah. You'd be like,
You're the best
queen. You're the queen, Ellen. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm excited for
unique
him.
experience, right? You guys got to, with all these, like, Suru and, you know, Alexandre, you got to visit him too, right, down in Brazil. And you went to São Paulo, a few different spots, right? And then you went to Belo Horizonte. It was like fast, right? It was like
So fast.
like a week, 6 days, something like that.
Yeah.
Did you guys sleep?
Yeah, sure. There was
Yeah, sure.
there was one time
I saw Kevin's face because he's in the video, right? And I was like, man, it looks like he's not slept in like 3-4 days.
there was this one night we went out and I don't even know who we were with, but they ordered steak tartare, and Kevin's like, I'm not eating raw meat in Brazil. I was like, stop being such a wuss. I ate it. The next day, I just slept the whole night long. The next day, I was in bed like, oh, God. I was like, who would have thought Kevin was right?
Oh, my God.
But that's what you get for being fearless. Sometimes, you know.
Man, I remember that reminds me of a story. When I went to Thailand with Hadith, and we went to these outside Phuket, these PP Islands, you know, and they had these street vendors, and she's all like about exploring different foods, and I was like, I don't know about these street vendors, you know, like baking out in the sun during the day. And
yeah, how long has that been there?
Yeah, I'm like, man, like she was so insistent, persistent. No, like, come on, just once, you know. It was like this shrimp, you know. I remember there's like this shrimp on kebab, you know, and I was like, fine. So I took it, and sure enough, both of us got sick. We're throwing up the whole trip back, you know, on the boat, because you had to take a boat to this like small little island, you know. So we were both throwing up, you know. I was like, oh, but I did train the next morning in Phuket. Did some Muay Thai, you know. I was like dying though. Oh
That's
my God.
wild. Adit went with you. That's awesome.
Yeah. I would always try to do something after like a fight camp, because I would be so focused on the fight camp. So I'd try to do something,
you know,
together after the fight, you know.
Adit's coming up story with you is one of my favorite like love stories. You know, I think you told me once how you guys met. You just saw her at a fight or something, and you were very persistent with her.
She said that, or I said that?
No, you told me that you were very.
You know, I was with Alexandre, right? We came to LA for a Hickson Gracie tournament back in 2000, and he needed me because he didn't speak English at the time, and he liked to, you know, like he liked to do these like free spirited things, you know. Speaking of, you know, just randomness, you know, and so he's like he's really persistent once he puts his mind to something. And so he kept like bugging me, bothering me all day long to go out. Come on, man. And like after like 6-7 hours, I was like, fine, let's go. 1 hour, whatever. And so we stayed in Santa Monica by the 3rd Street Promenade. And so we went out. We were staying there too. So we went out, and I went into like this bar, and her friend was having a birthday party, and that's how I met her, just randomly for that 1 hour. Got her number, whatever, and you know, the rest is history.
Yeah.
25 years ago.
I love when you post that picture of her Açai stand in front of the gym, and like, you know, now.
It's a cool story, right?
Yeah,
we just
I
put
love it.
a little stand together, put it on the sidewalk. It was actually in the lobby at first. It's like, hey, let's put this thing outside, because you need like a sink, and you need to do like health department things, right?
And now she has her
cafe, and you know, it's popping,
employees.
Right? Yeah. Big operation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to watch. You know, who doesn't love a come up story?
Yeah. Started from nothing, right? Created from nothing. But it's nice, you know, the whole history, right? And how everything's kind of like interconnected too, right? The whole ecosystem. You go to Brazil, you kind of see a little bit, but you guys didn't go to Rio, right? So
No,
like
not
Rio, you know, she traveled with me to, you know, I'd go down there for different things, and she'd come with me. So kind of just the lifestyle, right? And it was kind of one of those things that kind of just meshed. She's always been very, very passionate about like health and food and nutrition and, you know, those things. And so it was like a perfect intersection.
Yeah.
Açai being like really healthy for you, but
Yeah.
delicious as well. You know, she likes to enjoy life, but she also wants to
Yeah.
enjoy life being healthy, right?
Yeah.
Long term for
It's all authentic. It's
yeah,
all real.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Interconnecting with our jiu-jitsu lifestyle and
Yeah.
martial arts, right? Tag fit as well. So yeah, very excited. We got Revive now too, the recovery place, right? And this podcast is which I think is a way to connect us as well.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that book again, the being connected to others, you know, this helps us connect in a way.
Yeah.
So
I was so nervous for this podcast because I don't know who's gonna watch it.
Uh-huh.
But I know like your name is so well known. So hi fans. Because like I was in Brazil and they'd be like, "Who's your professor?" I'd be like, "Alberto Crane." They would put the pieces together and be like, "Oh yeah, Alberto, ow."
ow. Yeah, they don't say the L like they say it like a U,
Yeah.
right? Ow, ow, and the dog barking, they don't say woof woof, they say ow,
Ow.
ow, ow, ow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm so happy you guys got to go and experience a little bit.
Yeah.
How did you mean that things matched up stories? What parts were you thinking about when you were saying that?
I don't know, just like with Edson and Professor X. I did it.
The future president of Brazil.
Yeah. I don't know, just like you being the first American to go and get your black belt to compete, and it must have not been easy for you to be white, to be American in Brazil, and just not being accepted, and then winning over the hearts of the Brazilians.
Yeah.
Because now everyone's more open. Everyone's like, oh yeah, Brazil, or BJJ, we're all connected. But back then it wasn't like that.
Yeah, it was hostile.
Yeah, hostile.
Yeah. Learning our jiu-jitsu
Competitive.
to use against us.
Yeah, don't share technique or keep it sacred. Now everyone's like out in the open. Like you could just YouTube how to do this, whatever.
Watching the matches on stream, right, live.
Yeah.
Or even in the gym before the tournaments happen.
So you see your competitor and watch their every move. So
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how things have changed or shifted, right, in these years.
Into all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Where do you see jiu-jitsu in 10 years?
10 years. That's a long time.
We're talking about technology and AI, and I don't know if you use ChatGPT or any of these AI tools.
Yeah, I think
Alshon, his brother, sent me a video.
it'll
these
be
people
just
talking.
over inundated with information that like anything else, only the real people who want to keep showing up will keep improving.
Yeah, like this.
Have you heard about TagFit? It was created by Albert Crane. It's blowing up everywhere lately.
Just random people.
I've been seeing it all
Random
over
AI
Instagram.
people. How real does that look?
It looks like someone filmed it.
Yeah, but it's fake,
AI,
right? Yeah.
He loves playing with that. They love playing with that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's happening,
crazy,
right? It's
yeah.
happening. So who knows, right? How to differentiate what's real and what's not, as time goes on. I'm excited about all the health things, right, with nanotechnology and just our bodies, and I don't know. Let's see what happens, Yeah, like there's that guy named Ray Kurzweil. He was like a futuristic guy, and he was like, yeah, we're gonna, after a certain year, everybody's gonna live forever. I don't know if that's good or bad, right? I don't know, but it's it's changes things, right? If you never die, right? So let's see what happens. It's one thing that I know is jiu-jitsu is, and who knows, right? Maybe we're gonna be like robots, right? Or people are gonna be the robots are gonna be people. and you can just, learn jiu-jitsu in like 10 seconds,
Yeah, I'd love for everyone to do jiu-jitsu, because sometimes you come across people and then you think, oh, they've never been punched in the face, or like they've never been through anything difficult in their life, so they're acting this way. But if everyone does jiu-jitsu, then it creates like respect for other people.
That's good. That's good, yeah. Everybody should do jiu-jitsu. The world would be a better place, right?
I think so. You would learn how to like talk to people nicely, respectfully, treat each other like you
More
don't
kind.
know. Yeah. It's
That's
like
it.
it's like having a weapon on you. Like, you don't know. Imagine if everyone had a gun on them. Like, we'd all be like chill.
Respectful,
We'd
yeah.
all be very chill. Yeah.
Any shout outs? Any last shout outs you'd like to give?
Shout out Legacy
Go Legacy.
Glendale, especially. I don't know. I'm very grateful to be alive and have such a great community, and none of this would happen, without this building, without you being a great leader for everyone to watch. I love watching you and Sevon interact on the mats. I'm always
Him
watching
trying to kill me.
you. Yeah. It's good to see a good like male figure being a good father figure and a good leader in his business, and treating everyone with respect. I think there's no ego to you, so it's really nice to be a part of this community. If there was if everyone feared you out of like ego, it wouldn't be so good to be here. So it's really nice. Yeah, and I love that everyone loves to share knowledge, wisdom, and love with each other here. So shout out Legacy. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Sorry, my broken hand.